The Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
Now on Fox 61, the wintry mix of weather may be leaving our state, but now we are looking ahead to another impactful round of snowfall this weekend. That's why we now begin with the weather impact alert. Thank you for joining us after the game. I'm Annette Montgomery. Now that snowfall is expected to begin Sunday evening. Let's bring in meteorologist Sam Sampiri with the first check of the forecast. Sam, we're expecting a lot.
Yeah, well, we're still trying to iron out the details of that potential storm coming in for Sunday afternoon into Monday, timing and intensity and track, and we're starting to get some new information in. Meanwhile, we're still dealing with today's nuisance event, I call it. We had 1 to 2 inches across northern Connecticut, and we're still dealing with some leftover snow showers and snow flurries. There's a little line of light snow up there in northwestern Connecticut, but again, most of the activity you see here is up to the north, where you're getting periods of light to moderate snow throughout central and northern New England. We're on the southern fringe of this system now. And the good news is at least we don't have to deal with any more significant precipitation with this system. If anything, we're going to get a couple of snow showers tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. So visibilities are up now, but however, watch out for icy spots. A little bit of fog overnight. Temperatures down in the upper 20s and lower 30s already, mid 30s down along the shoreline. So icy spots tonight. Otherwise, we'll have that snow shower rolling on by. Temperatures upper 20s to lower 30s, a little sun, and then in the afternoon into the evening, we could have a couple of snow flurries and snow showers. Yes, coming up. And we're going to talk about already winter storm watches posted for southern Connecticut. We'll talk about that storm and all the impacts and what you can expect on your Fox 61 7-day forecast in a few minutes. Annette.
And make sure to join Sam and Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for special winter storm streaming coverage starting at 5 p.m. Sunday. They'll bring you updated forecast every hour as the storm moves in. Then at 9 p.m. they'll have a full hour of continuous coverage, including the latest storm track and timing. You can join our anchors Brent Harden and Sarah Sanchez for the news at 10 and 11 as our team will bring you the latest conditions. And our coverage will continue early Monday with a special edition of Fox 61 Morning News beginning at 4 a.m. You can watch on Fox 61 Plus and right here on Fox 61. You can also get the latest weather impact forecast, alerts, and live radar anytime. Just download the Fox 61 Plus streaming app on your smart TV. Carl Jacobson, the former New Haven police chief, turned himself in today to state police after a weeks-long investigation into alleged embezzlement of department funds. We have team coverage tonight, but we first start with Fox 61's Tim Lateau with the mayor's reaction to the news.
Mayor Justin Ellicott called Friday extremely upsetting. He learned that his former police chief, Carl Jacobson, allegedly stole tens of thousands of dollars more than he admitted to, and that it all stemmed from a gambling problem.
That there was a gambling issue that was related to all of this, and that seems quite clear in the warrant. The theft from Powell, also really upsetting. And the amount of money is upsetting, and those were, pieces of news that we didn't know previous to today.
New Haven Mayor Justin Ellicott was shocked to learn the extent of the alleged crimes of his former police chief. Carl Jacobson resigned in January after he admitted he stole $10,000 from police department funds. The arrest warrant reveals he allegedly lied in that admission because more than $80,000 were stolen from a confidential informant fund, and more than $4,000 came from the Police Activity League, a youth organization run by officers.
See that the chief of police stole money from kids is just shocking and really upsetting.
Mayor Ellicott says he's led the city through tough times in his 6 years as mayor. That includes the COVID-19 pandemic, unrest after the murder of George Floyd, and federal funding cuts. But Mayor Ellicott says this scandal ranks as one of the most challenging ones. He says it's a difficult time to be a politician, but he promises to always keep the people in his city informed.
There's a lot of pressure nationally on cities like ours, and a lot of disinformation, a lack of trust in government. I think it's really important for people in leadership positions like mine to always be working as hard as I possibly can to do the right thing and ensure we share with the public.
And Mayor Ellicott says that while it's been a tough day for the city, he hopes that the public is able to see the transparency through the process and that no one is above the law. In New Haven, Tim Lateau, Fox 61.
Thank you, Tim. And our team coverage continues tonight with Fox 61's Stephen Reels. He has combed through the arrest warrant and affidavit to lay out exactly what happened.
At the moment, state leaders say that these charges are just simply accusations until Carl Jacobson can go through the legal process. But this newly released arrest warrant and affidavit gives us a better idea of what investigators say happened.
According to the arrest warrant, the investigation began January 6th into if now former New Haven PD Chief Carl Jacobson embezzled money from the department's Narcotic Enforcement Program Fund. Jacobson reportedly had told his assistant chiefs during a meeting before he retired from his role. Concerns of Jacobson's behavior came as early as December 23, 2025, after the former chief had not given a lieutenant money to pay informants over the past 2 months. Highly unusual, according to the document. Jacobson reportedly gave a lieutenant $2,000 to pay informants, but then took $1,000 back and left an IOU in its place. According to the warrant, repairs to equipment also fell on hard times in the department. Eventually, some of the assistant chiefs confronted Jacobson and recorded the conversation. Jacobson told them that he had been taking money from the department for around a month and spent it on gambling, a habit that had gotten worse over the past few months. Jacobson said he planned to replace it in the first week of January from a different fund. The AC said that despite pleas from Jacobson to allow him enough time to replace the money before he retired, they turned him down. Jacobson proceeded to say he was embarrassed and asked his co-workers for a chance to avoid potentially going to jail and lose his pension for his misuse of government funds, which totaled $85,000 over the course of 2024 and 2025. The assistant chiefs reported the situation immediately to City Hall, and Jacobson never returned to his office. According to his warrant, no other members of the police department nor anyone outside the department were said to have helped Jacobson.
The former chief was arrested on a $150,000 bond, but has since been released. Looking forward, Carl Jacobson is expected in New Haven Superior Court on March 6th. In New Haven, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
Thank you, Stephen. And you can find our full coverage of this developing story on Fox 61 Plus. You can also download the free Fox 61 News app or visit fox61.com at any time. Well, new tonight, the body of a former West Hartford man has been found nearly a week after he and his wife fell through the ice in Cape Cod. Police say Gerard and Kathleen Boucher were walking their dog on First Encounter Beach in Eastham on Saturday morning when they fell into the icy water. Kathleen's body was found later that day. Gerard's was recovered today after an extensive search involving dive teams and drones. Neighbors remember the couple as kind, devoted volunteers as a memorial now lines the banks of Bees River as the community mourns the tragic loss. And earlier this week, the superintendent of West Hartford Public Schools said Kathleen was a devoted teacher at Bugby Elementary School for 20 years before retiring in 2008. He went on to say her loss is deeply felt far beyond Bugby. Well, now at 10, less than 2 weeks after Norwich city officials announced the immediate suspension of operations at the Yantic Volunteer Firehouse, a new lawsuit has been filed against the city, which aims to change that. This dispute stems from what city leaders describe as the volunteer unit's refusal to come under a unified chain of command. Fox 61's Aaron Coogan is in Norwich tonight with what that lawsuit claims and what this means for public safety moving forward.
Well, here it is, filed on behalf of not only the Yantic Volunteer Unit, but 4 out of the 5 volunteer departments throughout the city of Norwich. This 41-page lawsuit looks to serve as a lifeline to preserving volunteerism throughout the city. But as city manager John Solomon, who finds himself on the other side of this lawsuit, argues it's actually going to complicate coming to a resolution. The new lawsuit claims the city of Norwich, city manager John Solomon, and city fire chief Sam Wilson have all acted beyond their legal powers in calling for the indefinite suspension of operations at the Yantic Volunteer Firehouse amidst orders to organize all volunteer units under the city-led unified chain of command. Quote, the suit is aimed at the basis of the authority used to remove Yantic from fire and EMS service. A post to Yantic's Facebook page reads, this is the same perceived authority that's being used to justify drastic changes all across the Norwich Volunteer Fire Service, end quote. The 41-page lawsuit has been filed on behalf of 4 out of 5 volunteer units throughout the city. Yantic, Taftville, Ockham, and Laurel Hill have all signed their names to the suit. East Great Plain was the only volunteer department excluded as they've agreed to operate under the city's order. So So what does this mean for the immediate future?
When you have a lawsuit, it complicates the discussion.
City Manager John Solomon, who's named in the lawsuit, says the new litigation only prolongs coming to a resolution.
Unless I get permission from the volunteer companies, I can't talk directly to them.
Right now, the city agency is fielding all calls that typically would be responded to by Yantic, and while the only station as of now to have their doors closed. Are the other two volunteer departments that are listed on the lawsuit going to see a similar fate to Yantic?
Possibly. How can we be assured that when the different parties go to a fire, that they'll be working together?
Solomon says it's a matter of public safety, and a legal battle, he says, will fall the city's way.
There have been similar cases that have gone before the court in Connecticut, and even to the Court of Appeals, and were struck down. So there's precedent already for what we're doing. So we're very confident.
Meanwhile, one of the primary concerns for residents during all of this was if it could happen to Yantic, could it happen to my neighborhood volunteer department as well? A rally in support of those volunteer departments is scheduled for next week. In Norwich, Aaron Coogan, Fox 61.